a Canon EOS, a Nikon D50, a Sony Handy Cam, and my Franken camera. We have so much coming up, you guys. Hey, what's up you guys? Nick here. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Nick. I'm a professional photographer. I've been shooting professionally for the last 3 years, but I have had a camera in my hand for the last 16, and for those of you who are joining me for another video, thank you guys again so much. So I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver some items for some of the shoots we're going to be doing here soon. So in the meantime, I wanted to do a first thoughts video on 3 new cameras that I have that we are going to be doing videos with. I have not shot with any of these cameras. I shot a little bit with one of them as I tried to figure it out, but I haven't actually gone out and done a serious shoot with any of these, and this is literally just going to be my first look at these cameras. So let's start off with one that is the most foreign to me, I guess is how I'm going to say this, and that is a Canon Rebel XT EOS right here with the 18 to 55 kit lens. Nick D50 was kind enough to let me borrow this camera, and I'm going to put his link down to his YouTube channel down below. Now, my first thoughts on this one is it's relatively small, compact, especially considering that it came out in around the same era as the D70, and we all saw how big and bulky the D70 was. And actually, I have a D70 up here we can compare it to. So this is actually my D70S. It's basically the same thing as the D70. Some of the controls are a little bit different, but it's the same size. And as you can see, it is a larger, much bulkier camera than the Canon EOS, and they came out relatively around the same time. Now, like I said, I've played with this one just a little bit, and the controls are different enough, but it seems to be a little more ergonomical, a little more user-friendly than the D70 was, though it does not have the dual knobbies that the D70 had. It just has the single knobby, and I've got to play around with it a little bit more, but we are actually going to go out and do a portrait session, probably in a park or in the downtown area like we have in the past, and get a good feel for this camera, kind of get a figuring it out moment, and then see if we can take some really good portraits with a camera of this age. Now, what I have noticed about the Rebel EOS is it is a compact flash camera, much like the D70 and the D70S is, and it has a smaller LCD screen similar to that of the D70 and the D70S, but overall it is a smaller camera. It's a little bit lighter. I don't know much about how the battery life is going to last us, and I don't know a lot about this camera yet because we haven't actually gone out and done a serious shoot with it. Again, this is my first thoughts on this camera. So my first thoughts on the EOS is it's lighter, it's smaller, it's more compact. I could probably daily carry one of these a lot easier than I could my D70 or my D70S, though compared to my D50-100, it's about a similar size, but the D51 has a similar size LCD. I'm gonna snap my finger and we'll have a 50-100 in my hand. And voila, the D50-100. Now the D50-100, we did a video on that, and I'll link that right above you guys. We've done a couple of videos on it, but as you can see, the D50-100 is actually very similar in size to the EOS Rebel XT that we have here, but this takes an SD card and it has a bigger flip-out LCD screen. But this camera is a lot newer than this camera, especially when you compare this camera to a camera of similar age, which was the Nikon D70S that I showed you a little bit ago. It is a lot smaller and a lot less bulky, and it seems to be, from the little bit I've played with it, a little more user-friendly when we're actually doing a shoot and we do the full review on this, as well as the manual mode how-to video. I will be able to give you a better answer on how ergonomical it actually is and whether it's worth buying in this day and age, because you can pick these up dirt cheap anymore. So the next camera I want to discuss, this was actually sent to me by a fan of mine, Dwayne. I want to thank you again so much for sending me this camera. He does volunteer photography for a local fire department, and he's actually a really cool guy. We've talked a lot. He loves older Nikon things, but this is a Nikon D50, and this is actually the true competition to the EOS XT that we just looked at. They came out at the exact same time, and I will be doing a head-to-head shoot with them. As you can see, I have my 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens on the D50, as well as one of the similar Canon ones on the EOS Rebel XT, and we will be doing a head-to-head video between the two consumer cameras of that era, and I think that will be a lot of fun. Now, the D50, my first impressions of this, because I actually haven't shot with. I'm waiting on a 1 gigabyte SD card to come in for this because it will not process over 1 to 2 gigabytes, but this takes the exact same batteries as my Nikon D70 and my D70S, as well as I believe these batteries are used in the 700 series full frame cameras. One thing I do want to notate about this one is against the D70, it does not have 2 knobs like the D70 did. And we did a whole video on the D70, I'll link that one right above there, you guys, as well as the knobby thing is on the opposite side because I had to make room for this LCD screen. Now this LCD screen is similar to the D70 where it has all your information, your f-stop range, your ISO range, all that. And actually, let's see. And this has the exact same ISO range as the D70, 200 to 1600, so we won't be using this in a lot of low light conditions. But the difference between this one and the D70, this one actually takes a regular SD card. It doesn't take the compact flash cards. This was built more as a consumer grade camera. It'll be perfect to put against that Rebel XT EOS. It'll be a great head-to-head video. I think we might get Nick Dudelko on that video. I'll give him this camera and I will shoot with the Canon, or I'll go out and shoot with both. We'll do a street photography session, we're gonna do a portrait session, and we might do a studio session depending on how the virus is affecting things when we get to that point. This one too also has that smaller LCD screen just like the D70 did and the D70S does. But overall, this is a larger, bulkier, and heavier camera than the Canon EOS XT is, so it'll be a very, very interesting comparison. Again, this one we will do a full review on by itself, and we will do a manual mode walkthrough like we have with the 5300, the 5100, and the D70 so far. If you guys want to send me cameras, just let me know. I will always accept cameras, because it's a lot of fun and I like going shooting with them and it's enjoyable. I do plan on starting to rent cameras through the camera shop down in Boulder as soon as they allow me to, as in they open back up and we get to a point where I can rent cameras, and we'll start doing some full frame reviews and we'll start doing some other consumer grade reviews. I am looking to get a Nikon D3000 and a Canon Rebel I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. They're coming from family members. They don't know exactly what they are, so we will have a lot of camera reviews and a lot of camera action and a lot of head-to-heads coming up, you guys. So finally, we're gonna get to the last camera that we have some videos coming up for, and my first thought on that, and that is an older Sony Handy Cam. With this camera, we probably actually will be mostly doing a B-roll video, a how to use it video, and possibly a review video. This thing is super awesome. It's super tiny. I like the flip out screen. It does not take an external microphone, so we probably won't shoot an actual video with it just because of that. I want my sound quality to be decent, and we can't attach a microphone to it. Because we can't attach a microphone to it, we will not be doing any me talking videos with this because I can only imagine how terrible the audio will sound. We might actually shoot one of those just to get that bad audio so I can show you during the review. But I have not played with this one very much. I've had this camera not very long. I had to order a charger for it, so I've been waiting on Amazon to bring me the charger for this camera, so I haven't played with it actually at all. Like, not even a little bit, other than right now. But it looks pretty cool. It's got the flip out screen. All the reviews I've seen for it have been pretty decent. I'm hoping to get some awesome B-roll footage with this. I think it'd be nice to be able to just kind of go out and shoot some B-roll on the street, or if it's a simple enough design, I can have one of my assistants or someone else actually help me shoot video of me shooting with this. That way we get a little bit more of that cool B-roll like this roll here that Nick Dudelko shot while I was shooting with Ariana, and that one actually was a really fun video overall. I think we reviewed the 5300 or the 5100 in that video. But yeah, so those are the 3 cameras that I am super excited. We got a bunch of videos and a bunch of content, and those are my first thoughts on the camera. The Canon XT, it looks a little more ergonomical. It's lighter than the Nikon cameras of that era. The Nikon, it'll be a lot of fun because it's an SD card, but it's the same era of the D70, but it doesn't use the compact flash, and it doesn't have as many options as far as the 2 knobbies and other things like that, and it's kind of a heavier camera. And then this Sony Handy Cam, which is super light, and I hope that it takes good video because I would love to use it for B-roll. So I mentioned a Frankenstein camera. What did I mean by that? What are we talking about with a Frankenstein camera? Well, let me show you guys. So this camera back here is always behind me. It's turned around right now because of this. But as you can see, one of my friends 3D printed a Nikon F mount that fits to the back of my large format camera. So that means that we are going to be able to take any standard Nikon DSLR camera, googly eyes, sorry about that, any standard Nikon DSLR camera, and we're going to be able to attach it to the back of this large format camera and take photos with it. So we're gonna do an entire thing where I go through how I was able to get this attachment onto the camera, the kind of photos that it's going to be able to take, and we're actually gonna go out and we're gonna do a street photography session, we're gonna do a landscape session, and we are going to do a portrait session with this giant Franken camera of 2 cameras put together. I actually have some pictures of the cameras put together and pictures, and another picture of it, and one of the early images that I took with it out of my backyard. So yeah, super exciting stuff, you guys. We got 3 cameras and we got a Franken camera. Those are my first thoughts on the Canon Rebel XT EOS, the Nikon D50, and the Sony Handy Cam, and my Franken camera. So I want to thank you guys all again for joining me in this video. It wasn't exactly the video I had planned for this week, but again, I'm waiting on stuff from Amazon in order to complete those videos. So instead, we did that first look. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any cameras you want me to check out, any cameras you want me to go out and try to get a hold of and shoot with, and what kind of shoots you'd want to do with those cameras. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you guys know exactly when I upload. All my social media is down below. So make sure you hit my social medias. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I announce giveaways on there. I'm going to start giving away shirts, stickers, all that kind of stuff from my merch store. So make sure you guys go check out my Red. All of that money will go back into the channel so we can get more cameras, so we can get more equipment, and we can keep testing stuff. So thank you guys again so much. You have a wonderful afternoon, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye.